All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, how I got S minus 30 and S minus 40 probably didn't make a lot of sense to you. You just didn't see it. And that's okay. We're still working on breaking things down. So let's go over the rules that allowed me to find that this section, let me draw it here, this section right here was equal to S minus 30, which is, highlight it, right here. And because I got to take length times width, I also am going to be talking about how this side became S, I'm spelling my name out of habit. Wow, look at that, minus 40. Okay, let's talk about it, because when I take those two, that's how I'm going to find the area of this rectangle, which is what they're asking for. But I had to find that first. Here's how I did all that. I first recognized that this entire length is S. I then realized that this entire area also had to be S, because those are two parallel lines and they're meeting at each end by two perpendicular lines. So by definition, they have to be the same length. If you're having trouble with that, make sure you talk to me, because some you guys are getting ready to go into geometry, and that's going to be an important fact to just know, okay? So the next fact that I know is if I start here and I just erase essentially that much of my line, what I have done mathematically is I've taken the entire length of S and I have taken off 40 meters. Now, I'm not putting the meters here because I don't want to worry about the labels until the very end. So I just leave that as S minus 40. And that's how I got S minus 40, because I looked at the whole length of this square here, which is the same as this whole length, S, and I took off this much, which it tells me is 40. When I did that, I'm left with just this length here. Let me highlight that a little bit better. There we go. I'm left with just that length there when I take S and subtract 40 meters off. All right, now I did the same thing for this other side. What I did is I recognized this entire length was S. So that meant this entire length also had to be S. What I then also realized is if I cut off from here to here, I would just be left with this portion here, which to do that, it means I took the whole length S and chopped off or removed, hence minus, 30 meters. So that's just how I got to the start of finding length times width, where length here is going to be, in the case that I wrote it, it's S minus 30, but it's really S minus 40. Overall, doesn't really matter because it's multiplication. And then I was able to use the other fact, which I'll get into, that area always equals area. And I had two different things that told me what area were, blah, blah, blah. And we'll go through that. We went through that in the previous video that you watched. So with this one, remember, you're hoping to understand how in the world did I get S minus 40 and S minus 30? And if you're still confused, let me know. The ending, I think, is the confusing part, because my brain started going back. I'm actually making this video first. So, yay for my brain keeping in order where I'm at. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's how I got S minus 40 for my length and S minus 30 for my width. And then the next video shows you how, the previous video showed you how to use those to multiply together my polynomials and whatnot. So let me know if you got any questions for just how we find the length and width.